I feel like I've hunted more monsters in this game than I have in World. Even though I have literally half the playtime.
Might just be a recency thing.
Maybe. Because I can't imagine myself having done more hunts than this in World. At least it doesn't feel like I ever did.
Honestly, since we were newer back then, I think there is a lot more wasted time in your many build making sessions.
Probably. There's also like a couple other things you could consider too. Like the maps being much larger and more exploration focused than actually fighting the monster.
Yeah.
It might just be like maybe less recency, but more like quantity within a certain time period. Because it feels like I've hunted hundreds of monsters in like pretty recently. It could also be that we've already spent, what is it, like 100 hours, 150 hours on the Switch version too?
Oh, that actually, that's true as well. You probably just also don't remember like the Izuchi quests and whatever well from Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, we really did though. It's just, I mostly remember like Safijiva and how I did like 50 of them, or like 60 of them. It's weird. I think I want to say that I prefer Rise, and I mean I kind of do, from a gameplay standpoint. But a part of me prefers World, and a part of me prefers Rise. And I don't know what parts it is really. I could like say what they are, which is like World or World's maps, World's exploration, some of the monsters, the big event quests and stuff like that. But it's more like something intangible that you can't really say.
Is it not just because Rise is what you, or World is what you started on Monster Hunter?
Maybe. Could just be.
'Cause I have a similar thing with Pokemon, where Diamond and Pearl were my first Pokemon games, which means in my mind I rate them higher than I would normally.
But I feel like it's something else as well, where like a lot of Rise is kind of just preferable. Or a lot of World is also just as preferable. I mean, saying that, I've also never returned to World after starting Rise. But I do think half of that is just because, like, we put a pin in it, effectively, you know?
Yeah.
We kind of did just, like, put a pin in World, and we're like, that's it, what's what we're doing. We're not going to play it. Like, we literally manually decided we're done playing this game. I mean, I guess we didn't really have much else to do in World when we finished as well. We'd done quite literally everything.
Put all of Palace's armor.
Yeah, we were quite literally at the... just playing it for playing its sake at that point. I knew they did it twice. I was hoping I was going to be able to run it though. What might also be interesting, or a bit of an interesting comparison, is that Rise is the first Monster Hunter we've played that we've actually been there for every part of its cycles.
True.
Because we were not there for most of World. In fact, Iceborne was out by the time we started playing it. So we weren't there for like the Behemoth and like the Lunastra and all the content that the original World had. Well, we were here for this game and all its content.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, there's stuff I think World does really well or better. But it's not enough better to make me want to play it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Mainly because like the gameplay is just... I didn't mean to go up here. The gameplay is honestly significantly better in Rise.
Yeah.
Noticeably better.
I think, even from a relatively superficial level, I just enjoy my wirebug skills and wirebug movement too much to really be like, yeah, but I want to explore other maps, so I'm gonna go back to Worlds. Like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah. the combat loop in this game is definitely like substantially stronger, even if like all the maps are drastically worse, and all the the graphics are worse, and the no big events. And I think I put it pretty well. One of the other streams we did, where I think the World has way lower lows but way higher highs, and Rise is just way more consistent in general.
Yeah.
We're like, sure, there's no Safi Jiva, there's no Alatreon, there's no Fatalis, there's no like big massive event quests that really make us like kind of go in awe, or that require us doing multi-day grinding to beat. But at the same time, the average gameplay is still a hell of a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think a good indicator of it is that in World, we would genuinely get annoyed at having to fight Kushala. And I don't think there's any monster like that in this game where we're genuinely like, oh fuck, I really don't want to fight this thing.
I mean, Kazu, but like we can easily ignore Kazu.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, I just genuinely forgot about Kazu.
And kind of Ameldron. I don't really like Ameldron.
I don't like Almudron, but my annoyance with Almudron isn't that bad. It's not nearly as bad as my annoyance was with Kushala and World.
World is just such like a technical mess as well. Like the whole trying to play World, which is honestly one of the biggest bad things about World with friends, is such a fucking nightmare. It's genuinely like pulling teeth trying to play World with friends. Mainly through the storyline. Once you get past the storyline, sure, it's basically like this game, how this game is right now. When you're in the middle of playing it, it's so...
Speaking of technical things, man, grinding for decorations sucked so bad.
Yeah. I would agree. Grinding for decorations and just not getting the decorations you wanted was so bad.
And then, like, spamming the once in Nogre quest because that's the best way to get decorations.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas in this game, even if, like, the necklace grind is similar in just... or was similar in just make a ton of them until you get what you need, you could do it on any quest, which is already a huge improvement.
How it is in this game, where you RNG for charms and you craft decorations, is actually how it was in old Monster Hunter games.
Yeah.
Like prior to World. But then for some reason in World they just made it so like opposite. I also feel like this game has way more like shit that's worth grinding than World does.
Yeah.
It might be like hella, like especially the anomaly investigations might be insanely grindy in some points, but I think it like, at least it's an enjoyable, like substantial grind.
They also made them less grindy than they were at launch, though. Like you don't have, it doesn't take nearly as much just mindless repeating of missions to get a decently leveled one.
Yeah.
Now, because now you can just increase the level of a monster of a hunt you have.
The guiding lands was cool, but I hated all the systems surrounding it.
Yeah, I was never a huge fan of guiding lands just because the whole like area level micromanagement was just kind of just ruined it for me.
Yeah, I will say it honestly. You're correct. It just ruined it. It ruined like a really cool idea, I think. It's taking me a while to like say it, but I do think Guiding Lands was just blatantly like sabotage with that system.
Yeah.
It's effectively this, but you can lose progress and you have to constantly grind to gain it back. And actually, especially considering that a lot of those materials were required for certain gear and and charms and shit like that. And if you wanted that material, you were either going to have to spend something like 10-20 hours grinding to get your the certain regions level up, or you had to luck it out in online quests.
And also the fun of like, oh, this monster is a monster I actually enjoy, but I'm trying to level a different region, so I guess I'll just send him away.
Yeah, I feel like, and I have mentioned it as a mechanic that I want, but I just want some way to hunt every single monster in the game at a decently scaled value. And actually, honestly, anomaly quests have kind of done that just like really well. I like that we can fight super scaled monsters or super early monsters and still have like some form of threat.
Nappy time. Oh fuck! Get stoned, that idiot. Oh, get that idiot.
I didn't even notice they were capturable.
Oh no, I did. I was gonna put down a trap, and then while scrolling to my traps, I saw that I had the sleep toad, and I was like, oh hey.
Perish in your sleep. I really hope that switch skills return for the next game. Absolutely. I feel like they need to, for the combat to be as engaging, because just being able to choose your moveset is such a strong like incentive to progress and like replayability and creating builds. We mentioned it earlier as well, but the like the rampage decoration thing being exclusive to like giving every weapon 3 different exclusive rampage decoration things or whatever to alter their movesets and give them buffs, and just more ways to make each weapon unique. I wouldn't mind that if they aren't going to be adding more weapons in the next game.
Yeah. I think switch skills need to stay, and some incarnation of wire bugs as well.